Why humor and emotion is important when it comes to public speaking. Do you ever ask yourself, how can I make my audience feel less bored? Or how can I make them feel more engaged? How can we achieve this? Quick answer is humor and emotion. Humor and emotion is a principle we can use to better our public speaking abilities. We can always still use this to make our audience feel more engaged and feel more entertained with our presentation.
When engaging with your audience, humor can be used as a tool to make your audience feel more engaged and involved into your topic and ideas.
There was a TED Talk that I was extremely interested in called Do Schools Kill Creativity? The speaker uses the principle of humor in his very introduction to grab the attention of his audience. And later we see that he starts to push this humor and then suddenly lets it fade away while introducing his new ideas and topic, while his audience is extremely paying attention to him. Let's take a look.
Good morning. How are you? It's been great, hasn't it? I've been blown away by the whole thing. In fact, I'm leaving. There have been three themes, haven't there, running through the conference, which are relevant to what I want to talk about. One is the extraordinary evidence of human creativity in all of the presentations that we've had and in all the people here. Just the variety of it and the range of it. The second is that it's put us in a place where we have no idea what's going to happen in terms of the future. No idea how this may play out. I have an interest in education. Actually, what I find is everybody has an interest in education. Don't you? I find this very interesting. If you're at a dinner party and you say you work in education, actually, you're not often at dinner parties, frankly.
As we can see in the TED Talk, his humor was used at the very beginning of his presentation and later fades away while he starts to introduce his new ideas. Now we question, how can we use these methods in our presentations? It can be a learning process, and we can also start to tend to practice on our friends or any family members, start to practice on our own to balance out humor and emotion within our presentation and not letting our ideas slide through.
It can be quite difficult trying to learn how to use humor as one of your main points, but this will require practice. Learning is a process and a journey when it comes to using it in public speaking to give more authority.
For example, a recent speech I gave in my biology class. I didn't want to make my presentation completely boring, and I saw the examples that the teacher gave us, but none of us really paid attention to it. I wanted to give it more details so that the audience felt more engaged. I started to use emotion at the very beginning, but I also let it fade away as towards the end, and I started to give my facts. Later I realized that my audience was very engaged with the humor, and that was the main attention grabber. And well, this became a very difficult process for me to learn, such as I had to practice on friends and family so that they could let me learn when humor was used too much or when it was a good balance. It's all a process.
In the book Talk Like TED, there is a quote, "I'm a learning machine and this is a place to learn."
While humor is used to be an attention grabber, we can also use emotion towards the end of our presentation to also lower the humor down and take the topic more seriously.
Although humor is a good tool to make your audience feel engaged, it is also important to balance it out and not let your topic get lost within all the humor. Humor plays a good role at the start of the presentation, while emotion plays a bigger role in the end.
Humor is a great tool, but if it is used too much, your audience may feel that you are not taking your own presentation as seriously and the topic is not as important to you. That's why it is extremely important to balance it out with emotion and show the impact that it should have on our personal lives or whatever the topic may be.
In the book Talk Like TED, there is a quote, "Great communicators reach your head and reach your heart."
These two principal tools are extremely important and can be used on all sorts of presentations depending on the topic as well. It can be used to show how important the speech is actually important to you and to also help your audience feel more engaged and grab great attention to you as a speaker and your presentation, all the information you have to present. I hope these tools are extremely useful to you guys.